I'm Dan Galusha, and welcome to another edition of Shoot and Plink. Hey, we've got a new gun with us today. It's a GSG16. Here it is right here. It's made by German Sport Guns, and it's distributed here in this country by American Tactical, ATI, you'll know it as. And this is quite a gun, actually. You can use it as a pistol, as you can see. It's got a 16-inch barrel, and no, before you start talking, this is not a suppressor. Nope, that's just the way it's made. It's not a suppressor. The nice feature, one feature I want to show you right away, is the extra magazine. You know where the extra magazine is? You got one. This is a 22 round, by the way, and this is a 1610, which is a 10 round magazine unit that you can get. And there's also the 1622, which is a 22. Well, this one I kind of got as a hybrid. This is a 22 round magazine right here, and by the way, this is 22 caliber. Your other magazine is right here, right in the handle, and that's the 10. That's the 10 round I got. So I got an extra 10 rounds if I want to use them. It's ideal for your target shooting and your plinking because you got plenty of rounds with you, and like I said, you got one here. This will go in here, this 22 round if you want, but look at the rails you've got on this. I don't know what the blazes you'd put on all of them. You got one long one up here. We're going to talk about these sights in just a little bit because there's more to it than just these sights. You got rails here, you got one down here, and you've even got one back here. What would you do with that? I don't know. Jim Johnson and I was talking about that. Not quite sure. Depending on how you cheek it, though, you're going to get hit with that rail. And that I don't like. The safety is ambidextrous, as you can see. It's on both sides. The difference in the safety is right here. I'm going to pop this out so you can see first before I start talking about the safety. This right down here, there's actually two ways to do this. You either use this lever or you use this button to remove your magazine. And you just push that forward and take it out. And we're going to take that out right now. Put it down here. It's not loaded anyway. Nothing's loaded, as you can see. And there's another thing. I'm still going to get to this safety. Right here, this is the charging lever. Your bolt is right down here. See? Okay, that charging lever, the nice thing about it is, it's, again, you can change it around and put it over here if you'd rather have it. I know you might be seeing some blood on my thumb. That's because I was doing an axe throwing video and had a bit of an accident. Anyway, you've seen the rails. I'm going to tell you about the safety now. You know how most safeties, when you switch it to being safe, it covers up a red dot or a red spot or something or other. Anyway, it doesn't show until you actually switch it to fire. Not this one. It all shows, everything. See it up here? You got an S down here because right now the safety is on, it's safe, and it's got a white dot. You take it off of the safety, the yellow dot goes up and points at the red dot. Now it's ready to fire. Of course, we want to keep it on safety, even though there is nothing in it, as you've already seen. Now we're going to talk about the sights. The sights are quite different, as you can see. It's kind of put down here, and I got more to tell you about them. And down here, here's your peep sight, and it's adjustable for windage, either way. Well, that adjustment for the windage also takes this out to replace it with, say, like a ghost peep sight, which that's what it came with the ghost. But I wanted this little dot one, as I think you can probably see. So I changed it out. Here's something for you to watch out for. When you start doing that, there is a little C-clamp right over here. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's really, really hard. Well, you go to unscrew that, that thing pops out. Something that tiny, try to find it in the lawn carpeting. Try to find it anywhere, to tell you the truth. But I found it, thank heavens. Put it back in, and now it's ready to adjust. And it's going to have to probably be adjusted a little bit more after I messed around with it. This one up here, though, how do you do your elevation? Your elevation is done by your post sight up here, your front sight. But not like you'd think it normally is, because I know German Sports Guns does this, because if they're Firefly, it's the same way. They give you 3 front sights, a tall, medium, and short. Same thing here, but you got a lot more choices, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to show you what I mean. Alright, here we go. They give you this bag. This is got a nice little decal. You got your book, the whole works. But see all those in there? Those are all sights. You have just a straight post. You've got a post with a little knob on the top, and you've got the post like I've got there, which you may have seen. It also comes with a little tool and also a dummy round. And the sight that I've got on here, as you may see, I don't know, has got a little like yellow dot on it. That's what I wanted, so I could see it a little bit better through there. Now, how do you adjust the stock? Well, you know, most of your AR style rifles, and by the way, AR does not stand for automatic rifle or assault rifle. It stands for armor light rifles, just thus AR. And it was designed by Eugene Stoner. That was the first AR-15. Yep, just a little bit of information I thought I'd throw in there. Anyway, and Coles also is the one that owns the rights to actual AR-15. So the only actual AR-15 is sold by Colt. Now, this right here, you push this here like this, and it comes out. Push it again, comes out further. Push it again, comes out all the way. So now it's ready. That's your full-length stock, depending on what you want. And you got that sight. How is it adjusted? I don't know. Like I said, we just got it. We're going to shoot it here today. I'm going to try some ammunition. I'm going to try some CCI Standard. And that might not cycle right, due to the fact the company says you should have at least 1260. And German sports guns has been pretty much on. But we're still going to see if that, yeah, because I have no idea what the spring's like in this. So we're going to see if that CCI, which is a 1070 velocity, we'll see how it works in here. We'll load a few rounds. I've got a target right up here. You might see that. We're going to shoot at that. And we're going to see how it hits. And if it needs adjustment somehow, I can adjust the windage real easily. But this is all going to have to be taken out. And by the way, in order to replace this, it's not that big of a deal. I just don't want to do it out here in the woods. We'll just shoot in the second part of it. Right here is the set screw. Take that set screw out, put another one in, put it in. That's all there is to it. Whichever one. And I chose the medium, the one in the middle, to shoot with today. So we'll see what happens. But why don't I load that up? We'll take a few shots at this and see how it is. I'll go back 25 yards and then we'll talk about it just a little bit. I got you back here at 25 yards. What you see there, of course, as you see. And before I forget it, this unit with ammunition weighs about 5.8 pounds. I weighed that on a digital scale. I always like to weigh them myself. Don't necessarily use what the company does because it can vary depending on what you do and how you're going to carry it. Right now I put a 10-round magazine here. I'm going to take just a few shots at that, see where they lay, and if I can adjust the windage, if it needs it, I'll do so. But let's get around in. Now I'm going to take a look at that. I'm sure you've seen it. Okay, I can see that the sight needs changed out, and I've got them here with me. So why don't I try that? We'll turn the camera off, and then we'll be back in just a bit. All right, I've got the sight for the shortest one there. So if it doesn't come up enough now, I'm not sure. I'm just going to have to do it on my own. Okay, let's take a look at that. Put it on safe. Okay, the windage was off, so I had to do a little bit of tweaking to bring it on over. I'll fire around and see about where I'm at, and then see if I got to do some more changing. Take safety off. Now I'll see where that hit. Alright, fire some more rounds and hopefully I'll be on with these. Take a look. If it's close enough, we'll do some plinking. Okay, I've got some Make It Ring AR500 knockovers. I had one pretty much dead center in the middle of that target, so we should be able to do this. I loaded 5 rounds of Aguila, and for some reason, there we go. Okay. Just didn't have it pulled down. Sometimes it looks like you got to pull this thing back pretty hard and twist it around. Anyway, I loaded it with the Aguila, and this is a 1260 velocity. So it's going to have a little bit more punch to it. And that should be good when we do the 50-yard one, which will be at another time. So let's give it a go. All 5 rounds. It's open, safe and clear. So let's go back up there. Picked up one of the bottles. I'll show it to you. Get these off. I'm going to talk to you about this stuff too. And this butt here. Anyway, that's something else we're going to talk about. You can see on these where there's a shiny area, especially if it's a hollow point. I think I'll shoot hollow points. This one right here, I hit that. It's this one right here. That one right there is where I got it. I think you can see that. Okay, yeah, you can see it. It's right there. Okay. So they're on pretty good. And with that Aguila, a little stronger velocity, you could tell she really smacked it hard, and it spread out pretty good on that. Now I'm going to talk to you about this. And those. When I had my headphones on, I put this up like this. And I was trying to get that on. That's one of the problems I had, and I'll show you. And these are regular shooting headphones. These aren't anything else. We'll lay this down to you. It's unsafed, and as you can see, it's open. There's nothing in it. I'll put these on. Now, watch. What do you got? This right here, hitting you. You gotta move it around, and it's kind of uncomfortable. Otherwise, you can come up this way and get right down into that sight. And that might be a good idea, actually, to move up just a little bit. Put this up here, move in like this, and put that sight on. Might even be better. I'll show you the paper sight, by the way, or this paper target, I should say. We'll put this over here in a safe spot. The last rounds, and by the way, this one, I had the camera off at one point. I wanted to see what it was doing. So I had fired around and got it up here. Then when I readjusted, I hit right here. That's where I was hitting. I had a pretty doggone good grouping right down here, but that was before all the adjustments. I'm getting rid of these because I keep hearing myself echoing in it. But anyway, you can see where we start out. Of course, you were seeing this anyway, that we were way down here, and then I had to go to the shortest sight. And to tell you the truth, I think that could even use a shorter one. Shorter one there or taller one in the back, but there's no way to do that. So otherwise, a red dot, you might want to do that with it. You certainly got a lot of options on rails, you can tell that. So you could put a red dot on here if you wanted. You could put a scope of some sort, or and put lights, or I'm tempted, I don't know if I will, but I'm tempted to remove these. If I'm not going to use them, I'm tempted to remove them and see how it shoots then. It shoots a little bit easier. But I use the 10 round magazine, as you could tell, in that rather than the 22. And we're going to be doing some more shooting, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this gun for some of the CCI 22LR Tactical AR. And we're going to be comparing that with the Federal ammunition, and we're going to use this one for sure, and maybe a couple of others. Might even use my AR-7, which is a Henry, and that's that survival rifle. And that was a different gun altogether than a regular AR. Actually, if you want to come right down to it, that was put out by American Rifle, and not Armor Light Rifles. Two different companies. But that's an AR-7, like I said, and Henry took that over about, I think, 1997. But again, we're getting into a little bit of history here and things. And as far as the gun goes, I'd say it shoots pretty doggone good. I loaded 5 rounds, fired 5 rounds, and knocked 5 bottles over. If you can do that, and that's from 25 yards, and we're going to be shooting from 50 later on, and we will probably use, like that Aguila that I just used now, a little bit more than the 1070, and see how that works. So until next time, shoot safe, and have a great day of plinking.